Well, hello and welcome to the Let's Get Carried Away show. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday. I've had a word with Kev. He's working tonight, but he says Wednesdays he can do in the future. Um, and so, and I've ordered a T-shirt as well off Kev. It's important we keep the legacy going of the big man, which was Davey. We've got Rob in. How are we doing, Rob? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate.
Good
Still
stuff.
unpacking, but we're getting there.
David Graham says, evening all. Well, how did we manage to beat Leeds at Ellen Road yesterday? I do not know, but we just got there. He says, by the way,
Yeah.
Sun and home games against Spurs and Nottingham Forest will be live on Sky Sports in April. And I tell you what, considering we were just sparsely having 3 games picked at the beginning of the season for Sunderland, they didn't fancy us, did they? Much.
No,
I think
no.
even Sky thought like, oh, Sunderland are going to just crash straight back down again. But isn't it's interesting? All of a sudden, we seem to be on every week. At least twice or 3 times a month.
Yeah, yeah. It's absolutely bloody typical of TV, though, isn't it? Yeah, we don't want to watch them. We don't want to watch. Oh, maybe we should watch them. Oh, we'd better watch them. You know, and it's probably all sort of, you know, kudos to Sunderland fans around the world who've probably been, hang on, Sky, get your arse into gear, put some of the Sunderland games on so we can watch them.
Well, I think
Not everybody's a Man United fan or a Man City fan.
as we start playing
So
some
yeah,
superb football, especially at the early start of the season. I think they had no choice really, did they? People wanted to watch us.
yeah, exactly. Evening, Kingfisher. How the
Kingfisher,
devil's
how are
that?
you? So then we can't not talk about last night. I mean, where did that win come from?
It was out of the bag, and considering at the beginning of the show last night, we were fairly convinced we were going to get done over. Basically, there was a lot of unhappiness about Reggie Lebrie's selection. To be fair, I know I said at the beginning of the game last night, we still had 8 of our first team out there last night.
I looked at the starting lineup, and it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people on social media as well.
There was.
Was saying, there's one lad that was driving a minibus down. He says, "Oh my god," he says, "I've just seen the lineup." He says, "I'm tempted to just turn the minibus round and head back up the motorway." But just goes to show you, though, doesn't it? It's like never underestimate anything. I mean, there's lads out
Yeah.
there that did bloody well last night.
I mean, and the prime candidate for that was Luke O'Nien. He had a bloody cracking game last night.
Aye, and he did nothing but housery all through the game, winding
Yeah.
Leeds up and the fans.
Yeah.
Just like little things like when he's getting the throw and he's like moving it a little bit further forward, just little silly little things like that, and kicking that ball into play while Leeds having possession, getting that other ball involved. Well, I mean, what you've got to ask is how the hell did that other ball get in on the pitch in the first place?
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair to the team, in the first half they were totally outplayed. Leeds had most of the ball. They didn't do much with it at the end of the day, but they were cutting through us like a knife through butter, but with no final outcome. Xhaka came on in the second half with a much more solid. As soon as he got on the pitch, the midfield transformed.
Yeah.
And it's been clear from the last few games that when he's on the field, the rest of the midfield performs better, probably because they're being told where to go and what to do.
It's you've got to have a talent to have what Granit Xhaka has, and that's the case of positioning people before he's seen into the future, which I keep on reiterating about, and that's what he does. And
Yeah.
yes, I'm not saying massively pretty at some point, but will certainly improve every time he does come on the pitch.
Yeah.
Kingfisher was asking what was the crack with Talby walking off. I didn't
don't
get the
know.
gist with that. What exactly happened? Like, was he about to come on and then did he walk off? What happened? Do you know, Rob? Because I'm not too sure.
I honestly don't know. All I remember from the commentary was that Benno was saying he's not on the bench. He's not on the bench. He's you know, he's
Well,
not
yeah,
sitting
well,
on the
that's
bench. Where the hell is he? Why didn't they bring him on? Now, you know, why didn't Regis bring him on? Is he throwing his toys out the pram because he's not starting? Did he literally send Teddy into Warburg because he didn't get on the field last night and stormed off? I don't know. I didn't see him storm off, obviously. I was watching, keeping an eye on the game on the other laptop. But he was there at the end. You know, he was there as the team were coming off, and he was celebrating with them. So, you know, what the crack there is, I do not know. But, you know, maybe he's just had thrown a wobbly.
Throwing a wobbly.
You know,
I don't know.
considering it was Talvi or Traore, and they put Traore on, and he lasted all of about 30 seconds before he came off again.
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, look, you reckon like Traore he got a knock, didn't he? I mean,
He did. He got a knock on his knee. It's
as we were sort of saying, he can't be very fit. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it looked like he did get a knock. So be it. If that's the case, and he's needing to come off, what can you do? It's no good.
yeah.
Keeping him on, is it? Miscommunication in the subs, most probably. Kingfisher, hello, Grindon 100, Stuart Rob. How are you doing? Says Devon Mackham. But yeah, it was quality. I mean, Luke 09, we'll discuss that. I mean, look at that. Got the picture up there. 2018-19 League One.
No difference, is there?
2025 to 26 Premier League, and also man of the match. I mean,
yeah, absolutely no difference in those two photos, is there?
There's not at all, is there? Is there any? Is he proving his critics wrong? I mean, even I've said he's not Premier League material. But I mean, you don't go to Ellen Road under the floodlights and get man of the match for now and play a full game, do you?
Nope. I think he is proving the critics wrong. Maybe he is a Premier League player. Maybe he's not Premier League day in, day out, but give him his chance and he performs for you. And we know he bloody bleeds Sunderland. So, you know, the guy is just, you know, he's Mr. Sunderland, isn't he? Simple as that.
I don't think you could sell him on. I don't think you could sell him on for £1 million in his back pocket. He wouldn't have gone anywhere.
No.
But what impressed me with 09 yesterday was the fact, like, he had a tough job like last night, and he just, I mean, he's quite a stocky fella, Luke 09. He doesn't get bullied about, but he was up against some tough players last night in a very, very hostile Ellen Road. But do you know what? I think Luke 09 thrives on that. I think he thrives on the hostility. To be quite honest with you.
Oh, he does. He does, and like you said, he's a master of shithousery, winding people up, winding the crowd up, winding the Leeds players up. He's a master at it. Good on him. Good on him. Yeah, Stud 81. Good point. Ramadan. I wonder if Tolby disappeared for Ramadan to get something to eat.
But like I say, we're just assuming he ran off and stormed off, but it might have not been the case. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could. It sort of it. Now that it's been mentioned by Stud 81, it's sort of that actually it rings a bell. It makes sense because I know Leeds did it the other day with their players. They stopped the game to allow the Muslim players to have something to eat because poor buggers had not had anything to eat during the day. So, let them have a snack. And that's maybe is what happened with Talby. Is he's gone off to break his fast, and then come back.
It could be. I'm sure it's just something simple. But back to 09 though. I mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, it was just an all right, just a perfect night last night, wasn't it? It wasn't pretty from really both sides. But it's like, did you see Granit Xhaka put his arm around and with the interview saying, Sunderland needs this man. Do you know what I mean? And that's one
Yeah,
of the most experienced players in the Premier League. You
yeah.
know, say it to Luke 09, and apparently him and Xhaka get on really, really well. And you can't tell me Xhaka is a big part of Luke 09 coming on the way he is.
Oh no, he's absolutely 100%.
You know what I mean? He's just such a leader, Xhaka, isn't he? Right, left, right, and centre. Yeah, Tony Hunton says that wasn't a pen they thought he gave. Anyway, I mean, yeah, Daniel Farker kicking off, didn't he? About
Yeah.
that weren't a penalty. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, of course it was a penalty. I mean, the first bit probably is a bit dubious, but he literally got a tennis racket and used his arm as a tennis racket and battered the ball out. It couldn't have been.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no way in God's earth that was not going to be a penalty.
Well, yeah, the worry was there was a referee and VAR involved. So, potentially it could have been not a penalty. It could have been probably a Sunderland booking for misrepresentation or something like that. Particularly given that it was the arsehole himself as ref. So
a lot of the pundits were saying they felt sorry for the referee last night.
I didn't.
They felt sorry for him.
I didn't. The guy's done us over a few times this season.
Day,
so
get paid enough. He's a professional person, and I just think the standards of a refereeing are just absolutely shocking. They really, really are. I mean, on about the penalties and stuff. Have a look at this. Claiming that Daniel Farker says this.
He's just giving them a cuddle. That's all it is. I think, as Tony Hunton says, though, that happened, and it was the chokehold was released before the ball was played. So,
I think, was it on Pascal Stroke he did it on?
I think it was. Yeah, he must have jumped up to catch to get hold of him round the neck because he's a tall bugger, isn't he?
Right. I mean, if you look at the whole thing, he didn't. It wasn't tightly round his neck. In Pascal Strike, if it was him, he sort of went a bit down. He went down too theatrical, and I think that's why the reason they didn't get it. I mean, heaven's sake. I mean, we're looking at that compared to Enzo Lafay's penalty against Bournemouth, which has still got people miffed. Why on earth? It's so. I just think he went down a bit too easy, but it was just far too obvious when Enzo Lafay got pushed because he got knocked off balance. You know what I mean? You could clearly see the Bournemouth player pushing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does have to be careful, Luke 09. I mean, he does do that. Does do that quite a lot. And then any other days, depending on who's refereeing or who's upstairs, on another day, might have not got away with that. Do you know what I mean?
That is very true. That is very true.
So he needs to.
I mean, had that penalty been given, of course, it might have changed the complexion of what we're saying about Luke 09 at the moment. But, he got away with it. He had a cracking game. Good on the lad.
It would have been a different game, Kingfisher, if he gave the pen for his arm around the neck, but it didn't, and that's the main thing. Tony Huntington says Ramadan would make a difference as sundown was much earlier.
Yeah, that's very true, Tony. But why did the Why did they stop the Leeds evening kick-off the other night to allow them to have something to eat? It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird.
I don't understand much about fasting. Or what does it mean when they say breaking the fasting? I don't know what that means. What does it?
They're not allowed. They're not allowed to eat or drink.
Mhm.
You know, I think they're allowed minimal water during Ramadan between sunrise and sunset, and they've got to wait till sunset before they can have anything to eat.
And that's classed as breaking the fasting when the sun
And
sun goes down.
you know, it's effectively it's the same as what we do overnight. We have breakfast the following morning. So that's exactly what they do.
So it's the fact like it's not the fact like they don't eat or take nutrients. It's just the fact like it's through the day they don't.
Yeah, during the period where the sun's up,
Mhm.
during Ramadan, they do not eat and only drink the minimal amount of water.
How long does it go on for?
It's about a month. It's a lunar month, so it's 28, 29 days.
And that's every year,
And
yeah?
every year, and it starts. I can't remember when it starts, but it ends with, I think it's at the sighting of the new moon at the end
Ah.
of the month of Ramadan. So it's all to do with suns and moons.
Tony Hunton says 09 had let go of the player before the ball was
Yeah,
kicked.
yeah,
He's still got to sort of be careful, hasn't he? He's but he's getting there. I mean, look, when we all seen Luke 09 on the team sheet, we all thought, "Oh my god, what the hell's this?" You know. But
yeah. He's proved his critics wrong, I think.
shame on us. um, penalty. It was
Not the
fairly
best in the
awarded,
world.
but it wasn't the best penalty by Diarra at all. I mean, I can't understand why Lefay didn't take it because he's got a good technique of taking penalties.
He has. Yeah,
He puts his laces through it and sends it into the roof of the net, doesn't he?
apart from Panenka's.
I think he's
Um,
learned his lesson on on
yeah, I
that
think
one.
he might have done, but yeah, you're right. And I mean, Diarra was very lucky. It hit Pope somewhere between, not Pope, Darlow somewhere between his hip and his knee, and just went into the top of the net. It could just as easily have come back out.
I mean, he didn't really hit it with any great
No,
power either, but
no,
possibly could have been just as well. He didn't hit it hard because if he'd wellied that, it might have hit the keeper's hip and gone out with the bar.
that's very true. That is very true.
You know, so I'm just never a fan of these doing the river dance before you step up to take a penalty and side footing it. I mean,
Yeah,
Harry Kane's good at it. Maguire, Harry Maguire's good at it. Enzo Lafayette, similar technique where they just put the laces through it, and you take what you call a dead penalty. It doesn't matter what you do. Um,
yeah,
it's simple science. The keeper's never going to get it. Doesn't matter how good the keeper is. You put it in a certain place, the keeper will never get it, and that's what Lafay has been doing with most of his penalties. But to say the least, it could have come off his backside in the for the penalty yesterday, and it went in. And that's all that matters because there was a big roar when it hit the keeper because a lot of the Leeds fans thought that he'd of
saved it.
course
Yeah,
saved it, but he hadn't. So
yeah. There's some interesting scores in the Premier League at the
yeah,
moment.
fire away, Rob.
So
Excuse me, you will nibble my pizza.
Villa were 1-0 up when we started this broadcast. They're now
Oh,
2-1 down against Chelsea. 35 and 45 minutes plus 6. João Pedro scored his 2 goals, and Douglas Lewis scored on second minute for Villa. So Villa 2-1 down at home to Chelsea. Arsenal 1-0 up against Brighton. That's at Brighton. Fulham West Ham is 0 apiece. Man City are 1-0 up against Forest, and the great unwashed and the really unwashed Newcastle and Man United are 0-0 after 12 minutes.
On the I'm watching it here on the background here. It's but cheers for the latest scores. So there, of course, last night as well, Granit Xhaka made 250 appearances in the Premier League, and that just goes to show he's been about. You know what?
Yeah.
I still say he's one of the best signings Sunderland's made. Would you say? I know you talk about your Quinn and your Phillips and all that, but
yeah,
times have moved forward, and
absolutely, he's got to be certainly one of the, if not the most important, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 most important players Sunderland have signed in the 58 years I've been following Sunderland.
Do you think we would be where we are now if we hadn't have a player like Granit Xhaka?
Nope.
So, effectively, we are sort of a one-man teamish.
Ish. However, what we are doing is we've got younger players that are learning from him. So the likes of Diarra, I'm forgetting the guy's name. Oh, what's he called? Siddiqui. That's him.
Yeah.
Noah Siddiqui. Will be learning from Granit Xhaka, and hopefully a year or 2 down the line they'll be in a place to be able to take over when Xhaka hangs up his boots and becomes a coach.
It's almost like the players want him to be on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
It's like, come on, he's the anchor, he steadies the ship. It's like, we need you out there.
He's their safety blanket, isn't he?
Absolutely, is he? David Graham says, evening, folks, watching Aberdeen Celtic on Sky since the Premier League games are on TNT Sports. Yeah, they're on all week this week, TNT Sports, which I don't have. And apparently he says it is 1-1-1. Tackling, Rich Labrie got it spot on. He certainly did. Stud says, doesn't matter how now, but why was Farke on the touchline as he was given a red card against City at the weekend? I mean, is that because maybe the ban doesn't take place until the weekend? Could that be it?
Somebody mentioned, because I raised this last night, that Farke was on the touchline and yet he'd been given a red card at the weekend, so he should be banned for 3 games. And somebody mentioned it could be that he's appealing, in which case the ban is suspended until the outcome of the appeal is known. Because apparently he jogged, and this is Farke's words, I jogged across the pitch towards the referee and he immediately brandished a red card before I'd had a chance to say anything to him. And I didn't swear at him. I didn't threaten him.
Yeah, but like I say, on a dark night, you wouldn't want that beast coming running at you, would you?
Oh, God, no. He's a bit scary. He looks like a bulldog chewing a wasp at the best of times.
Oh, he does as well. But that could make sense, I presume. The fact like he's in appeal of it. Kingfisher, please like and subscribe. Thanks, Kingfisher. Yes, it's 1-1 as the latest Aberdeen Celtic. Tony Hunting, Xhaka allowed us to get other players. We would look very different without him. And let's not forget, it's also vital as well. Without KLD, I don't think we would have landed Xhaka as well.
No.
Yeah, word of mouth is very, very powerful, and that goes across the world. That it beats any feedback that or advertising is word of mouth. It's such a powerful tool as well. Let's talk about this chap, Alderete. It was a bit rusty the first 20 minutes or so, but hell, when we needed him, the last 35, 40 minutes, he was just unstoppable.
he was immense, wasn't he? I know he does try to be clever and he does try to be fancy sometimes. And he sometimes gets himself into trouble being clever and being fancy. But he was immense. Second half yesterday, he was absolutely immense.
He just kept shutting the door,
He
shutting the
did,
door, and
and
getting these tackles in, and just
shows
stifling Leeds.
what a good defender he is. Really is, really does.
And there's a few people should have thought he should have got man of the match or player of the match, should I say? You've got to say player of the match now.
Yeah.
Which, but look, it is what it is. But you know, he was very much part of that performance last night. He was just solid, and we just stifled Leeds. And I was surprised how little really Leeds offered, because at the Stadium of Light, especially the second half, I thought Leeds United give us a little bit of a footballing lesson in the second half. They passed us all over the place.
Yep, they did.
And I can't. Did we have Xhaka for that game or not? Was he not?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
But we played great first halves.
That was one of the games where we started losing players for
AFCON.
So we weren't at full strength. But you're right in what you say. Leeds played us off the park at Stadium of Light, and we were lucky to get away with. We're lucky to get away with a draw for that one. And to be fair, first half last night, Leeds were all over us. They just didn't have a finishing product.
Which you're going to get. You're under the lights at Ellen Road. I mean, you know, they've done that to a lot of teams. But as we say, you know, it's about putting the ball in the net. That really matters. And of course, they did put the ball in the net, but rightly so. It was offside. I was just puzzled how the linesman failed to see that, because he was a good
yard offside, at least.
Or yard offside. I was amazed.
Even Mr. Wenger's rule would have given that one.
I know, but no, it was a very. But also, what you got to think of as well, teams are tiring as well, aren't they? Leeds are a newly promoted side, and they were probably a bit stronger when we played them way back then at the Stadium of Light.
Yeah. They were just starting their good run then, weren't they?
Yeah, and I think a lot of the fans were really optimistic, thinking they could do Sunderland over. But I think just with Sunderland stifling them and getting them frustrated, we're silenced Ellen Road. Yeah. And even when that ridiculously 12 minutes got added on, I mean, still to this day, I mean, can you work out where that 12 minutes came from? I mean,
I'm still trying. I've had a piece of paper and a pen all day, and I've still been trying to do the calculations and still can't get the right answer. I really do not know. It came from the referee's imagination, one thinks.
They can't add any more time on from the first half to add on to the second half, can they?
Nope, that's supposed to be played at the end of the first half.
Because I'm thinking, like, he's missed a bit of stoppage time in the first half, so he's carrying it over onto the second half. It totally starts from scratch.
No, I mean, you know, another example of that tonight is Aston Villa Chelsea. The last time I looked before half time, they were into 45 plus 9 at the end of the first half. So any extra time from the first half should be played at the end of the first half. Where the hell he got 12 minutes from, other than the fact it took him an age to decide what was an offside and what was a bloody penalty. You know, yes, he has to add that on, and that might have accounted for 5 or 6 minutes, but there was hardly anything else.
Why don't they do what they do in rugby and stop the clock?
Yeah.
When there's a sub, or if there's an injury or something like that.
That would be far too sensible for football. Why do something simple? Why do something simple when you can make it ridiculously difficult?
But you know what I mean? It's that would work, wouldn't it, Rob? If it's a sub, just stop the clock.
It would. You've got a timekeeper. The fourth official is a timekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Press the stopwatch.
Yeah, if there's somebody injured on the floor, just stop it. Does the clock doesn't stop, does it, when you score?
No. that's why they're normally quite keen on getting them back to the centre circle and getting the game underway again fairly
I mean,
quickly.
would that work? Stopping the clock when you've scored because there's no player getting involved because they're all celebrating and stuff.
It
It all adds up, you
probably
know.
should. It probably should. But realistically and historically, you've only ever had about 30 minutes of play each half. The other 15 minutes has been pissing about, taking throw-ins, corners, faffing about with free kicks and things like that, and riding about on the floor when you bootlace breaks and things like that.
I'm tempted to watch the whole of that second half again, and
Evening, Colin.
I'm just gonna stop my stopwatch at every single thing. Let's get back to hello, Colin. How you doing? He says, evening, Cabby, or should I say, City Sausage and Rob. Yes, he's on about me the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Tony Hunting says the way we've developed with Xhaka, the next transfer window will be interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be. You know,
Hugely.
the fact that we're not a newly promoted side next season. We're a team that's in the Premier League. We've been there. We did all right. We've got some really good players that are going to attract other really good players. The only issue, and this is the one we were talking about with the guys from up the road on Monday, is it's very difficult to attract the best players any further north than Manchester.
Yeah, I know.
London's not a problem. All their wives want to live there. Manchester, they can tolerate. Nobody wants to live in Birmingham, so they don't. And they don't want to come too far north. Sunderland, Newcastle, not really interested. Sorry. Rather go to London, rather go to Manchester.
And I think that's why Brentford and Bournemouth have done so well in the Premier League is because they're there or thereabouts, aren't they? Down in
Bournemouth's
that
an hour.
region, aren't they?
Yeah, Bournemouth's an hour from London. Brentford's
In London, just
it's an
about.
hour from. It's about 10 minutes from the centre of London if you take the right train. And even to an extent, Watford, Luton, they can attract. When they were in the Premier League, they could attract a better calibre of player because they were close to the big smoke. So,
according to Flash Scores, Fulham have a penalty against the Hammers.
hey, let's just have a quick squint and see
Could
what's
be a good
going
night
on.
for Spurs as it stands before Spurs are at home to Palace tomorrow. Or do they play tomorrow, do they?
Yeah.
That won't be an easy game for Spurs tomorrow,
Won't.
mine.
It won't. Newcastle are going for it against Man United. They've had 5 shots, none on target. 60% of possession.
They always do raise the game against good teams at St James's Park. I always have done.
Yeah, trouble is Newcastle, once they get past the 30th minute, their defence normally falls over.
They're going down like chatty caffey dolls at the minute. Like they're really every opportunity they're just trying to stop starting the game as much as they can.
Yeah.
Trippier's gone down there. He said he's got a boot in his face. Anyhow, what do you think? Elborg,
good keeper.
our new keeper. How do you think he did?
It's a good keeper.
Good keeper. Are you confident?
Yep, confident. We've got 2 cracking keepers. Rofsy and this guy. This guy is very highly thought of. And he had a good game last night.
He did. He was a bit sort of hesitant coming out with some of the crosses, but I mean, that's probably just nerve or just getting a bit settled. But once you start getting a couple of good punches and a couple of shot stops, you could see the confidence growing on him, couldn't you?
You could, and he's very highly respected in Scandinavia as a keeper.
Is that his nationality? Is he?
Well, I think he's Norwegian,
right,
or something. I think he is. He could be Danish, but
I thought he did well,
or even a Swede. He could be a
Swede.
Swede.
I mean, look, first he's practically debut for the club. Ellen Rowe to get a clean sheet.
Yeah, did brilliant. He played well. He commanded his box reasonably well. He was fairly solid. He was behind virtually anything that was put his way. Quite happy.
Yeah, I was
He did,
pleased with him.
Colin. Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. He had a good game for his first start in the Premier League. Yeah, you can't fault the guy. And we've got two absolutely cracking keepers. Yeah, Swedish, Grinnan said. So, yeah, we've got two cracking keepers.
Massively. And Gulu,
He was a bit hitty missy last night. He did have some good runs. I think he was trying to be a little bit too fancy with his footwork and getting himself confused. But not too bad.
yeah,
Put the effort in.
a lot of people are saying that he got back well and helped the team out in defending.
He did.
Needs to do a little bit more of his actual his job. He's a winger, isn't he? He needs
is,
to do
yes.
a bit more of running at players. He found it tough against the Leeds defence, but like I say, he's a new player. They're only just going to get stronger, aren't they?
They are.
Without a doubt. And don't forget, we are missing other players. But I didn't think it was a bad performance overall from him.
Not at all.
He stepped up as far as I'm concerned. Who else? Yeah. Gary Bennett says last night nobody would have dreamt Sunderland would be in this position. You can't
totally
argue
agree
with that, can you?
Nope. Yeah, we didn't expect it at the beginning of the season, mate. So I think, like I said last night, we've won 10, drew 10, and lost 9 of Premier League games this season. I think my expectation at the beginning of the season that we might have won 5, drawn 5, and lost 20 at this point of the season, and would have been, somewhere around about the, 20, 25 point mark rather than the 40 point mark. But we had a great start to the season. We've gone off the boil sort of January, February time. We're just getting back on the boil again now. So,
it felt
the
special
world
last night because we got to that 40-point mark when it was a milestone, that what we wanted. And I think not just because it was our sort of enemies, Leeds United, because there is that rivalry there between Sunderland and Leeds. But to also get to that 40 points, it meant a lot. That win last night, and also to stop the rot. It's been a while since we've got a win in the Premier League, it seemed like, and it just seemed extra special. And you could tell by the way Gary Bennett was going on through the commentary how much he was getting involved. But that game was huge. To win that.
It was. I like Colin's comment. Colin likes Pato, but he doesn't come close to the quality of the two keepers. Now, Pato was a good shot stopper. No getting away from that. He was a good shot stopper. He was not particularly good at commanding his box, and his distribution was appalling. But he's just not in the same league as Rufsy and Elborg.
No. Well, we've stepped up, and it's as simple as that. And if other players don't step up, then that's the way of the footballing world. But I mean, you can't forget what he did and the saves he's made at Wembley and stuff. And the fans will be forever grateful for what he has done. So Sunderland could have a say of who goes down when our home games against Spurs and Nottingham Forest are both on Sky in April.
Yep.
Are we getting popular with Sky at the moment? We're turning heads, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
We are certainly turning heads.
Colin says we're going to win the FA Cup this season. I bloody hope not, mate. No, I'm not being negative, mate, but nah, give it a miss.
Give it a miss.
Concentrate on the league. Concentrate on getting into Europe now. We've got the 40 points. Let's set another target. I think they already have. 43 points is the next target.
Absolutely. Kingfisher says, and we got a win within the black strip, so we've got that monkey off our back.
Yep.
but really, it doesn't. The strip really doesn't. That's just superstitious, isn't it? But you do
Yeah,
think
it
that,
is.
don't you? You
And
know,
I mean, I don't know if you've seen the reports from the Port Vale Bristol City game last night, but the lad who scored the winning goal, he's a skunk. He supports the skunks.
does he?
Yeah. So let's hope we do them. Just to rub his bloody nose in it.
2 p.m. kickoff, a repeat of 1992, perhaps.
Yeah.
So did we
Oh no,
actually
it's not even a 2 p.m. kickoff. It's a 1:30 kickoff, I think,
Oh,
guys.
that's at 1:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
So did we play Oxford in 92 and we played Port Vale in 92 then?
Huh. I'm not sure, mate.
Is that what you're saying, David Graham? I know we did play Oxford in the route to Wembley for 1992. I know we played West Ham. I know we played Chelsea. We played Norwich. Could have been. We'll have to have a look. Coloured Major and Europe, we still
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
get there. Rob.
We
Yeah,
might
well,
get there too. Cup winners and finishing in the Europa League places or something like that.
imagine Sunderland v Newcastle in the FA Cup quarter or semi-final.
Yeah, that'd be really disappointing for Newcastle to lose 3 times against us in a season, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I know. I don't even think about that.
Yeah.
FA Cup carry on. Of course, Regis Labrie says we need to stay ambitious. What do you reckon of his words there?
Yep, absolutely. The man said it.
Don't just
Uh,
stop. Don't just to say because we've reached the 40 points now. That's the season done.
To quote Sir Terry Pratchett, the world, my man, is your mollusk of choice.
Absolutely. And Tinsel the Turkey says we would lose 3-0 last night
He
as well.
did. He did. Yeah. Send him a box of Paxo.
And a box of Paxo. Oh dear. And there's a picture there of the
Yay.
good old late Davy. You weren't. Did you ever see Davy on the show, Rob?
I didn't. I'd heard him on the show,
Mhm.
but I'd never actually seen him on the show. But I'd heard of his reputation from watching your channel as a listener rather than a
Mm.
contributor.
He'd be over the moon this season, Davy. Like, I mean, he
Oh,
always
good, yeah.
says we'll finish 7th in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, so Gibbs White's equalised for Forest against City.
Really?
Yeah. Did it? No other changes.
Yeah. FA Cup should remain on Freeview TV. It's they've got the only thing they've got for a sport at BBC is snooker, isn't it? But I mean,
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry at the best of times, isn't it?
I know. He says meant 1992 when we beat Oxford. All right, okay.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
colonise
Colin.
those
Colin.
pictures. I tell you what, if Forest gets something out of that, that'll be absolutely mental. I cannot see it, mind.
No.
But if they did, then be sweaty palms town for Spurs, wouldn't it?
It will be. It will be. And I've just got a sneaky feeling Spurs might slip into the bottom 3,
For that to happen, the Forest or West Ham need to pull someone out the bag.
West Ham are starting to do that already. They're one of the form teams in the Premier League at the moment. They've, I think, won 2, drew 2, lost 2 of their last 6. And on that form, they're going to end up on 42, 43 points for the rest of their games. Spurs, however, have drawn 1, lost 5, or something like that. Give me a second, I'll confirm that by having a look at the bloody table. Yeah, Spurs have drawn 2, lost 4. Sorry. West Ham have won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. Forest have won 1, drawn 2, lost 3. So, Spurs have got the worst form of any team in the bottom 6 at the moment. And they're just not picking points up. As it stands at the moment, the way the scores are now, Spurs are 1 point ahead of Forest and 3 points ahead of West Ham. Yes, they've got a game in hand, but they've got to win that game, and they're just not doing that. Wolves are down. Burnley are. You can just about say Burnley are down.
Well, Wolves and Burnley could actually swap places. I think
Well,
Wolves are only 3 points behind them, aren't they?
The way things are going, yeah. But you could term realistically, Leeds, Tottenham, Forest, West Ham are the 4 teams that are scrapping out for that 3rd relegation place at the moment. Palace are on 35. I think they're probably safe, to be honest. Newcastle, Brighton are both safe, I think, on 37. If we were safe on 36, they were safe on 37. So it's going to be one of Leeds, Tottenham, Forest, or West Ham to go down. West Ham are improving in leaps and bounds. Forest's new manager seems to have got them ticking a little bit better. They played Liverpool off the park the other night and got beat. They're doing all right against Man City. Spurs are just not performing. Leeds are scrapping for points, and they will continue to scrap for points, and they'll continue to pick points up.
I think Leeds have got a bit. They've got something about them. I think they'll be all right.
And the other thing that makes me worry for Spurs is the fact that West Ham, Forest, Leeds, they're all about scrapping for points, and they're good at it. Spurs are not. If you think back a few years where we had a damn good laugh at it, our neighbours' expense when we avoided relegation and they didn't, and we pissed ourselves laughing because they went down, and that's because we were good at scrapping to get out of the bottom 3. They weren't. They didn't have a clue what they were doing. They struggled. They went down, and that's I think going to be the problem with Spurs.
I think you're right. You could be well right. David Graham says, strange is that when we beat Oxford in this cup one, it was like deja vu back in 92. We went to Wembley with John Byrne and co.
Yeah.
Shame we couldn't beat even Liverpool in the final that day. Liverpool were just far too strong. And don't forget, Liverpool were inches of getting knocked out in the semi-final against Portsmouth. I think Liverpool scored a last-minute equaliser or something to take it to extra time, if I believe so. But Liverpool, they were just far too strong for us on the day. We couldn't compete. Enjoying me with the channel. Oh, that's me silly sausages on Dashcam.
Yeah.
I get on and have another look on me channel, everyone. Silly sausages. It's all my Dashcam footage from my job and stuff, and it's quite funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're liking it.
You would have wanted to have been in our car today. So the Ayatollah decided it was time to have a trip to IKEA to buy some bookshelves. So we set off to drive up to IKEA from Seaham this morning. And the way we've always gone to the Metro Centre and places like that is we go up to the Penshire turnoff, cut down through Washington onto the A1 at Berkeley Services, so on and so forth. So we come off the A19 at the turnoff for Penshire. And we're in the left lane to go left. There's a car in the right-hand lane, stopped at a red light. 2 jam sandwiches come hurtling up the 3rd lane in the middle. One drives across the front of the car that's in the right-hand lane. Another one pulls up inside it. Classic, jam them in maneuver. The guy in the passenger seat immediately puts his hands up. And the coppers are pissing themselves laughing because all they wanted to do was get in front of the queue to get round the roundabout.
That's crazy. Peter couldn't catch it. Your dash cam. Send us it.
Yeah, I bet that guy. I bet that guy in the passenger seat had to go and change his underwear. I really do.
I think he would have done.
Sue was wetting herself.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some absolute like I say, that's why I call my page silly sausages, Rob, because that's
Yeah.
absolutely cracking stuff.
Yeah.
Stephen Southwick says something wrong behind the scenes at Spurs, and it clearly isn't just about the head coach. It's when
Yeah.
you look of who they've had. Oh yeah, I know that.
Change,
Look, very true.
changing
Spurs v
scores
Forest
again.
live on Sky March
Yeah.
22nd, League Cup final weekend, along with Time with Derby. Yeah, Man
So
City.
Chelsea are now 3-1 up against
Two.
Villa.
I
West
expected the Man City one, but the Villa
yeah,
Chelsea one, I thought, well, they've dipped a bit Villa at home, haven't they?
West Ham have taken the lead against Fulham.
Yeah. So,
And Man City are now 2-1 up against Forest.
West Ham,
So
how many points are West Ham now behind
2. Oh no,
Spurs?
Forest are in the bottom 3.
Forest are in the bottom 3.
West Ham are out of the bottom 3. So you've got Spurs on 29, West Ham on 28, Forest on 27. Spurs are in the shit.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But there's a long way to go yet.
Oh, there is. There's 9 games to go. But Spurs have got some tough games coming up.
Watching the Newcastle game, 40 minutes. Well, I'm probably slightly behind because I'm watching it on the thingy stick. Newcastle's making a good count of themselves. They've not given much space at all to Man United, and I would say they've had more of the better chances. To be honest
7
with you.
shots, 1 on target for the scum, and the other scum have had 2 shots, none on target.
No, it's been mostly Newcastle, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out. But like I say, they always do well against the big clubs at St James's Park. It's they just seem to struggle against the other crap. Hello, Dak. He says, "Hello, y'all mandingos."
Hey, Dak, how are you,
if
mate?
if you know what he's on about mandingos, he's on about the blot outdoors.
Yeah.
If you watched him on YouTube, Rob.
Yeah.
I might be blot outdoors himself. I don't know. I don't think he is though. You enjoyed the game, Dak, last night. Then did you? Were you thrilled as us? As my stream's just gone off. So yeah, you're very good. That's good to hear, mate. That is really good to hear. So then we'll move on to Port Vale on Sunday. Should be a banker, shouldn't it, Rob, or what?
It
Port
should
Vale,
be.
second
It
top,
should
second
be.
of bottom of this Division 2. Is that right?
They are, yeah. They're not doing very well at the moment. It should be a banker for us. However, I think we'll see the reserves out. Much as we saw against Oxford, it'll be 1 or 2 of the first team players, and the rest of them will be reserves. And you would think, you've got your chance here, guys. Show the boss what you can do.
Man U's nearly scored there. It was a hell of a save.
It's the need to. I'm really I'm not that bothered about the FA Cup. I know it's a cup and it's far more important than the Mickey Mouse Trophy that our near neighbours won last year. But it's still, a devalued competition. In my book, has been ever since Man United were allowed to drop out of the world's premier knockout competition.
They wouldn't do it for the Champions League, would they? They wouldn't say, "Can
No,
we
of
drop out
course
the
they bloody
Champions
wouldn't.
League? Come
Of course they
on,
bloody
into
wouldn't.
the Champions League this year because the fact we want to play the Club World Cup." I mean, how man? But they should have said. You keep on saying, "Oh, they should have said, yeah, you can drop out, but you're never ever returning back to the FA Cup if you do."
That's what I would have done personally.
It's disgusting.
So from that perspective, to me, the FA Cup's not what it used to be. Yes, it's still, and as David said, and Colin mentioned earlier, it's still a route into European football. But it's just yet another distraction. Yeah, I know what you mean, Colin. I still remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, and how excited I was as an 11-year-old watching Sunderland beat Leeds in '73. I actually had a ticket for the game, but my mum wouldn't let me go because my dad was working. So my ticket got given away, which was devastating. But I understood. My mum wasn't that keen on letting an 11-year-old wander off to London by himself.
My
It
God, I've
is what
just
it is.
seen Man United. Honest to God, I think it's going to be one of them nights for them. They cannot hit a barn door with a shovel. They should have been 1-0 up there. The forces a good save from an angle from about 10 yards out, blasted over the bar.
Yeah. And yeah, I bet the score 3 in the second half.
He leaned back and side footed that, and that just sailed
Yeah.
over. Carrick's furious.
Yeah, we're of the same era, Colin. We're of the same era, mate.
Gateshead 0, Brentford 0. Gateshead in big trouble, but for South Shields, they look good after beating Clyde last night. Promotion to the National League next season. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it looks like they will be swapping with Gateshead. Gateshead's gone. I mean, have a look at their back record this season. It's absolutely dreadful. And considering they've been battling and challenging for promotion a couple of seasons, so something gone wrong there. Got this Newcastle Man U games end to end at the minute. I was 10-year-old, Rob.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Colin and myself are the same era, mate.
The FA Cup is definitely not what it was like from in the 70s, was it, Rob?
It's not, and I mean, even into the early 90s, FA Cup final day was started at 10 o'clock in the morning and went through till 5 in the afternoon, or sometimes 6 if there was extra time to play. Newcastle down to 10 men, eh? Woohoo!
I'm just seeing the replay now.
Malta did say there would be a sending off.
No, it was Tinsel.
Yeah. Ramsey. Second yellow.
It was Tinsel. Do you remember? It was Tinsel said there's going to be sendings off.
Yeah, he did say there were sendings off, but Malta actually specifically said that Newcastle would lose at least one man against Man City, against Man United. And I think Malta went for a 3 or a 4-0 Man United win.
I'm trying to think what that... What did he get sent off for there?
Second
Simulation.
yellow. Yeah, second yellow, it says.
It was a simulation. He dove for penalty.
Ah, yes.
Keeper didn't touch him. And he went down. Off you go. Bye-bye.
Yeah. That's it then. That's Newcastle's chance of scoring gone. Because the what's his name? Clown from The Simpsons. What do you call him? Krusty.
Yeah.
Krusty the Clown's not going to score, is he? Not from open play. Not against
so.
anybody other than carry a bag.
Stack 22. Like I say, I do thank you as well for gifting those memberships last night, mate. That helps the channel, mate. It helps to the cost. So I do massively appreciate you doing that yesterday, mate. Honestly, it does go a long, long way. It helps the channel, keeps the channel going, and lets me improve. He says I visited the shop and it looks like I love what you got, and I'm going to be getting a few items. So super job on it. Is that the Mackham shop, Dak? There's also Let's Get Carried Away clothing as well, which is in memory of Big Davy, who was a legend on this channel and everywhere basically. And his slogan was "Let's get carried away." So that's on it. Well, when you see the lives, you see the logos of the stuff as well. We've got penalty to Newcastle. Unbelievable. They did this against Liverpool when they went down to 10 men. And Anthony Gordon's. Let's have a look at this. I don't know about that. Let's have a look again. That's a penalty all day long. Yeah. It'll be 1-0 Newcastle. Gordon does not miss penalties. That's one thing he's good at is penalties. I don't think he's
Yeah.
missed one yet.
Oh, yeah, he did. He scored it. Oh, proves me wrong then, doesn't it? Krusty
What's
the
that?
Clown. Krusty the Clown scoring.
He never misses from a penalty. He's a good penalty taker. I still can't see that.
There's time for Man United to beat them yet, mate. I want to keep that gap. As Kev said, have you seen how big that bloody gap is these days, mate?
You can just see them though beating Man U with one.
Yeah.
It's a strange game, isn't it? It's a mental game. Football. They get a play sent off, and then they take the lead.
Yeah. Yep.
Have it being a penalty. I can see Newcastle be back to the walls now for that. Just watching the penalty he took here. Like you say, he's a cracking penalty taker. Anthony Gordon, as much as you like him or hate him.
Yeah, but you must admit though, he's got the sort of face that you really want to repeatedly hit with a brick.
Yes, but he always scores big goals. He always
Yeah.
scores massive goals in massive games constantly. Look what he's doing in the Champions League. But I still can't see Man U losing that. Like, I really cannot. Joe Pedro hat-trick. Oh, that's a crack as that.
Yeah.
Like, Colin
Yeah.
says, remember when the full-time while went with my mum and neighbour across the road, pulled their skirts above the knee and danced around the lamppost?
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember the hearing the screams and the surrounding houses when the full-time whistle went as well. And funnily enough, my better half found the video of a certain football game against Leeds round about when I was 11-year-old. So I've got it on video. I might just have to watch it again, just for nostalgia, you know.
Dak says, no problem at all. My wife actually saw and she loved that I have a new hobby and she told me to go ahead and do it. So cheers to my wife.
It's important for us men to have hobbies, Dak.
He says, this is my new home, lads. Very, very good of
Yep.
you. Very, very kind of you.
They then went to the DLI club. I think my mum and dad went out to the it'll have been the Legion in Peterlee where we lived
City
at the
2,
time.
Forest 2 there with their battling on, aren't they?
They are. Jeez.
Let's not forget, it's not just the bottom of the table. It's also going to affect the top because I mean, Arsenal
are winning
stopping.
1-0. Arsenal winning 1-0 at the moment as well.
Yeah. So if City lose that and Arsenal win, I do think that's the title gone. I mean, honestly, I can't see Arsenal losing many games this season. I think Arsenal and Man U have got to play with each other, and you have to fancy Arsenal. Is that Man City?
It is at Man City. Yeah.
Tell you what, Newcastle are ripping the skin off Man United. You would not think they were down to 10 men.
I'll tell you something, mate. Spurs are having some brown trouser moments at the moment because there's two teams sitting on 28 points and Spurs are on 29.
It's going to be interesting. God, there's some theatrical play I can go on this game. It's every time I look at the ball, there's a player down, there's a foul. It's honest to God, it's like an ice hockey game at the minute between these two sides. The clearly trying to get another player sent off Man U.
That's because some of us are really old, Dak. We've been there, seen it, and done it. You know, my first Sunderland game was in 1967, when I was 5.
What competition was in place? Replaced what was the Champions League back then in the 70s?
It was the European Cup.
In the 80s.
It was the European Cup.
Oh yes, 1-1.
Excellent. Casemiro. Fancy that. 45 plus 9.
Sorry, my Newcastle friends.
Yeah, it was the European Cup when it was the the champions of each league played each other in a knockout competition. not the also rans, and then the third places and the fourth places, and sometimes the fifth places, and those teams that finish fourth or fifth from bottom but manage to win a cheap and crappy European trophy, like they did this year. How you can call it a Champions League when it's really, let's just call it a European Super League. That's what it is.
It's the same trophy, though, isn't it?
It was, yeah, same trophy. Big silver thing, big handles. Liverpool got used to winning it all the time.
So when did it change to like the Champions League? What happened then? I mean, what was the format then back and then the European Cup, the Champions League? What?
Well, the format for the European Cup was the champions only.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, if you won the league, you got into the European Cup. End of. Cup Winners' Cup, you won a cup. And it was normally the FA Cup, not the League Cup. The UEFA Cup was for the also runs.
Mm-hmm.
Go back a little bit before that, you had the what was called the Fairs Cup, which was more like the Intertoto trophy type thing that Newcastle won in '69. The Champions League then became champions and runners up. That's how it started. And then it just expanded and became champions, runners up, the runners up to the runners up, the runners up to the runners up to the runners up, so on and so forth, to the point where, virtually anybody in the top half of the league can qualify for Europe.
There's also a big decision going to be made, I think, tomorrow. Clubs are going to be voting in favour or not in favour of 8 teams in the playoffs in the Championship.
Yeah. 2 up, and then scrap it out for the final slot. Or do you just make it 1 up and scrap it out for 2 slots?
Well, that's the hour up for the show. That's gone quick. I've enjoyed it tonight. Like every Wednesday, we're going to be doing the Let's Get Carried Away show. So join us on that. Other shows we do, the Mackems versus Geordies, but it's Geordies versus Mackems this coming next Monday on Through Black and White Eyes. So give their channel a look as well. Yeah, Colin, Rob, if we get into Europe, we still need an update on players. Oh, massive.
Yeah, we will. We'll need to. The thing is, if we qualify for Europe, we'll attract a better quality of replacement players, wouldn't we? But it is what it is. If we get there, we get there. If we don't, we don't. Just not going to bother me. Priority this season was don't get relegated. We ain't getting relegated. The world is your mollusk. See how well we can do. If we get into Europe, great. If we don't, tough. Try again next year. Go again.
Absolutely.
But there is a bit of me that says, yeah, the last time we went in Europe, it was the Vikings that took us. So 73.
I'll end the stream there then, Rob. Want to say good night and thank you.
Good night, everybody. Have a good evening.
And from myself, we'll catch you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.